Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. Bright and early. Well, as we do this live, it's bright and early. Who knows when you're listening to this via podcast. And by the way, if you want to listen to even more of the show, we just do the 2 hours here with Unleashed. And then we've got the overtime, which is fun. And that downloads every day at about, we post that at 11 o'clock Central. So early in the morning Pacific. It's like 9. Nobody's even out of bed yet at 9, except us. We do more before 9 o'clock in the morning than most people do all year.
Yeah, I have lunch about 10 a.m. typically.
Yeah?
10 a.m.
Yeah,
lunch.
that's when I'm getting really hungry, because when you've been up since 2:30 or 3,
Yep.
You're hungry by then.
Early bird
You know?
special.
Right?
Have supper about 4.
I do.
Put a lid on it.
I do.
Call it a night about 5:30.
Sometimes I feel like 5 or 5:30 going to bed. I don't, but I do go to bed early. I've hit the rack at 7 p.m. before.
I'll say I'm so pleased that my baseball team is already eliminated from the playoffs, so now I can stop staying up late.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're freed.
Yeah. So the Braves,
From being a baseball
their
fan.
exit. Yeah, and
Astros won last night.
Astros won last
Beat
night.
the Yankees 4-2.
Mm-hmm. And the Padres and Phillies knotted up at 1 game apiece.
Good morning, everybody.
All right. He already burned his duck in there. So,
Yeah, he did.
So he can't hit it again. Martin's like,
He probably
it might be
could,
duck
but
overkill. So
Yeah.
try it again. What time is it?
It's early. 6:01 on the morning. 6:02 now. Good morning.
Is that going to be the theme of the show? The duck?
Yeah, the duck. Who was it? Rick Dees that did that?
Is that what? Yeah.
Rick Dees, I think. Also Don Imus.
Don Imus
Yeah,
didn't
quack,
take it.
quack. After the time, I have no idea why.
I don't know.
No idea.
I bet Google knows.
Those are good times on radio.
Yeah.
Those are good times.
You don't get them back.
Some bad times going on in Britain right now. Liz Truss, who was made prime minister. I don't even know if she was elected prime minister, but she was made prime minister. This parliamentary system is bizarre. Would I like it right now? Yes. And then we go back to our old ways after we get rid of Biden that we're so disgusted with. But anyway, she was elected or put into office, literally less than a month ago, I think. Has it even been a month?
It was early September because it was 2 days before the Queen died.
Okay,
she met with her.
So they're already done with her. Literally, she can't stay in office, apparently. I've read she's got literally hours left.
September 8th.
Okay, so we're just over a month.
Woo! Boy, this is 6 weeks of history here.
And she has hours left.
Why?
I don't know. It's incredible.
So wait, Boris Johnson has scandal after scandal after scandal, and he lasts forever.
Yeah, he's in there a long time.
She's in there, and they don't like her tax plan, and you're out.
You know what they should do is bring back Tony Blair. America's friend, Tony Blair, who is really, we forget sometimes what a liberal he was, because on most things, we would not agree with Tony Blair. But on the war, he was fantastic.
And also, and I'm a nerd, do this. It sucks right now in America, okay? Times are tough. We're beat down. We have Joe Biden in the White House. If you ever want to feel good about yourself as an American, go listen to Tony Blair's speech in front of a joint session of Congress back in 2003-ish.
Yeah.
4-ish.
Yeah, when he was a really good friend of ours.
Yes, and he's praising our country.
You'd love it.
And it's really good stuff.
It made us forget all the things we disagreed with him on, actually.
Right. If you want to be a liberal over in Britain, go be a liberal. I don't care.
You remember about that time? He could have won election. He could have become president of the United States. People liked him so much. Had he not been a foreigner, had he been domestically born, we would have accepted, I think, Tony Blair. We might have regretted it afterwards, but the guy loved America.
Yeah.
And he was there for us when we needed him. It's really great.
And he paid the price.
Yeah, he did.
In his own country.
Yes, he did. As did Winston Churchill, by the way, who was booted out of office immediately after the war.
What is it with Britain?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for everything you did, saving the country. Get out.
Kicking their
You
leaders.
fat piece of crap.
And it was in no time that nation went socialist. Is like, all right, war's won, get out.
Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. A little bit fickle in the UK.
So who's going to be next? Did they talk about who's going to take the place of Liz Truss?
No, but I keep hearing Boris Johnson. They want Boris back.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
I don't think they will, but because he kind of overstayed his welcome too. I mean, like you said, he was involved in how many scandals? A lot of it COVID related. But
at the parties at what is it, 10 Downing? Is that right?
Yes.
Is that the address?
Yeah.
Had that party, and there was something else going on over there because it was lockdowns, and
right.
Oh, you can't do
and he
that.
ignored it. It was like, yeah, that's okay for you people.
And if
you little people sicken me.
He's a conservative over there, because there was nothing conservative about his.
No, there wasn't.
And remember. Okay.
Plus, he turned on Trump the minute he was out of office.
Oh yeah. Okay, so but wait a minute. He is a conservative, Boris Johnson. But remember, we had the video of him walking down, and like he didn't want like the one-use cup.
Oh yeah,
because there was a camera rolling. That's why he couldn't deal with that.
And conservatives in Britain are not like conservatives.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a big difference. Yeah. Yesterday, Joe Biden made it official. He shared his plan on how he's going to bring down, more than he already has. Anyway, how's he going to bring down those gas prices?
By selling from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve at the higher price of $90 earlier this year, and then refilling it in the future at a lower price, around $70, will actually make money for the taxpayers.
There's your plan. I mean, that's it.
There it is. That's going to work perfectly.
Boy.
No way that could backfire on you.
Because he knows that the price of oil is going to go down to $70.
That's the thing. You have no idea where the price of gas is going to be in the future. What do you mean you're going to sell it at 90 and buy it back at 70? Who says? How do you know it won't be 120 by the time you try to buy it back?
Yeah.
That's asinine.
And there was a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, Donald Trump, when he wanted to stock up the strategic oil reserve at $24 a barrel, and the Democrats blocked him.
Yeah.
So what else you got, old man?
What else you got?
So we're gonna buy it back at the dirt cheap price of $70. That's his plan. So it's
unbelievable.
Suicidal here.
Yeah.
As a nation.
Yeah, we are. It's crazy. By October, the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve will shrink to a 40-year low as the White House continues to just tap into it. This is something. Can we put the chart up, Rob? This will show you. Our maximum is 750 million barrels, as you see at the top there. We are now just a teeny bit over 350 million.
Yeah, well, subtract 15 million more barrels off of that.
10 to 15 more.
Because this is,
And we're there. We're at 300. We've cut it in half.
And then the plan is this winter, if need be, we'll drain even more of that.
We'll do it again. We'll just keep doing it until we've got nothing left in reserve. Won't that be nice? Then a war will begin. And there'll be an oil shortage because supply lines have been broken.
No.
And we won't be able to replenish.
You're wrong.
We won't be able to fuel our military.
No, the old man just said when it gets to $70 a barrel,
he's going to buy it back.
We're going to put more in there.
All right.
By selling from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve at the higher price of $90 earlier this year, and then refilling it in the future at a lower price, around $70, will actually make money for the taxpayers.
Boy.
As if he controls the price. If that's the case, why don't you just lower the price per barrel right now?
He doesn't control how often he changes his diaper.
No, I know. I know. It was probably full when he was making that announcement, frankly, would be my guess.
Wow. He hung around and took some questions. That had to be uncomfortable.
Well, do you remember how what's-his-face had to walk out of a room that one time?
Oh, Nadler.
Did
the little
Jerry
penguin
Nadler,
shuffle out the door.
Oh, my gosh. Might be fun to revisit, Rob, if you still have that around.
I hope
no pressure, though. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
He said stand by. Okay, he's going to look it up. Nadler shuffle.
Meanwhile, Biden was asked, I believe by Peter Doocy, what is your response to Republicans who say you're only doing this strategic petroleum reserve release to help Democrats in the midterms.
What is your response to Republicans who say you are only doing this SPR release to help Democrats in the midterms?
Where have they been the last 4 months?
Watching you destroy our country.
There it is. That's good.
What kind of answer is that?
Incoherence.
Where have you been the last 4 months? What does that mean? Because you've been depleting it for months and months and months? We're supposed to believe this isn't part of the... It's been part of the plan the whole time, and you know it because you're in big trouble over gas prices and inflation, which is why they focus so much on abortion. Abortion is going to be the issue that brings home the bacon for him November 8th. Good luck with that, because I think they're greatly miscalculating how passionate Americans are. They don't get abortions every day, but they do eat food every day. And they do buy gas several times a month. So those are kind of immediate concerns.
We do have the Nadler Shuffle if you'd like to.
Oh, good. Let's see the Nadler Shuffle.
Work on this subject, not part of this package, but part of preserving our democracy. With that, I'm work on this subject, not part of this package.
Why is he walking like that if he didn't poop his pants?
Democracy.
Can you think of a reason why you would be shuffling like that out the door?
You got to roll the quarters up there. You don't want falling down on the floor. Other than that, I don't know. Roll quarters or poop. I just the
really
people
something.
that run this country.
Yeah. It's encouraging, isn't it?
And he didn't have his mask on. You know.
No, right.
But the guy behind him did. I forgot which senator that
Maybe he was trying to escape the COVID that was circulating around him.
But I'm just saying that was a time when the masks came in handy because the senator, the congressman behind him.
Oh, yeah. They didn't have to smell it.
Okay. So, so Biden, he says really there's nothing we can do about the price.
Energy independence, and that's not a thing for this guy.
Look at this.
Because they will not drill. And they will not frack. And so here's what else he had to say about that.
The choices made by other countries are affecting the price of gas here at home.
Period. That's it.
Oh, man.
So we're at the whim of other countries, Pat.
No personal responsibility at any time ever. You remember when he said, I'll take responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he made that declaration during the campaign.
Yeah.
Not once has he taken responsibility for anything.
Yeah, if that bothers you so much, old man, that what's happening in other countries is affecting the price of gas here, then why don't we drill for oil here? What do you say?
Then it wouldn't affect us so much. He also said this about his administration and oil production. They got nothing to do with any kind of slow oil production. How dare you think they do?
We're calling it a ready and release plan.
Wow,
this
that's
allows
catchy.
us to move quickly to prevent oil price spikes and respond to international events.
All right.
Secondly,
what else?
We need to responsibly increase American oil production without delaying or deferring our transition to clean energy.
All right, get off that.
Let's debunk some myths here.
My
administration has not stopped or slowed U.S. oil production.
It's a lie.
Quite the
absolute
opposite.
Lie.
We're producing 12 million barrels of oil per day.
He says just the opposite.
And by the end of this year, we will be producing 1 million barrels a day, more than the day in which I took office.
Pause it.
In fact,
we're only producing 12 million barrels a day. We need 20 million. We need 20 million per day.
Well, then.
So at one point, we were over that because we had so much. We were taking care of our needs and exporting for the first time in something like 60 years. So, of course, he has shut down oil production. Ask any of the oil companies in this country if it's been any different in the policies of Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I mean, it's ludicrous that he would dare make that case or try to.
Oh, I think we have evidence that he's full of crap.
Oh, okay. Let's look at some of the evidence. We've got some headlines from his first few months of his presidency.
Oh, okay.
But he's left oil producers completely alone. He hasn't done a thing. Oh, well, Federal oil leases slow to a trickle under Biden. Okay.
It's like citing climate change.
All right. We also have Biden halts oil, gas leases amid legal fight on climate cost. February 22nd,
Let's
2022.
debunk some myths.
Biden suspends drilling leases in Arctic national. That's, the ANWR situation. So he suspended the drilling leases there.
Okay.
And Biden administration cancels Alaska oil and gas lease sale. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket to what this guy has done. He went to work day one cutting down oil production.
Yeah, and we've had a timeline that we featured on this show before. So I had to go and find this old tweet of mine on day one. I mean, he killed the Keystone Pipeline. Day one.
Yeah. Yep.
And then a week later, he stopped U.S. oil and gas leases. And look at that. Russian oil exports to the U.S. at an all-time high in March of that year. Biden allows Russian oil pipe. Yeah, he let the pipeline go through. Remember that one?
Yep.
Oh, but not ours. And then, of course, he went to court to fight U.S. oil leases.
My gosh.
And then issued sanctions on Russia, but not their oil because we so desperately needed them.
He's such a lying sack. And it's every day. He stands there and acts like it's an outrage that anybody challenges his bullcrap.
And that was an ultimate I'm not here moment.
Yeah, well, yes, absolutely. All right, let me tell you about Scoremaster. If you've got some credit issues, this is such a good way to go. Go to Scoremaster. It's really easy to sign up. It maybe takes a minute. I don't even think it takes that long. And then just follow their procedures, and they'll even tell you how many points they can add to your credit score. And it's not going to be like 6, like some of these other companies who have testimonials on bragging, I raised my credit score 3.5 points in just a year and a half. Really? Okay. Ooh. So wait 3 weeks. That's the average Scoremaster users take to boost their credit score by an average of 61 points. And that can mean a world of difference on whatever you're trying to finance. Scoremaster technology was developed by credit data scientists to boost your credit score higher and faster than you thought possible. Scoremaster makes it really easy. As I told you, maybe a minute to get started, and then you're off. Try Scoremaster for free and see how many plus points you can add to your score. They'll show you right there. Go to scoremaster.com/Pat, scoremaster.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And by the way, here's he's going against his own promises here. What he promised during the campaign. Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't, hey, I'm going to keep oil production at the same rate we're going right now. No, here's what he said.
No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel.
What about, say, stopping fracking and stopping pipeline infrastructure? And
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Unreal.
No more, no new fracking. We are going to get rid of fossil fuels. Have a transition from the oil industry, yes.
Okay, well, and that's what he's done. And then he denies that he's doing it.
So he's either lying then or
lying now.
Yeah, which do you want, Joe?
Yeah. Somebody needs to get in his face, hold up an iPad, and show him that. Hey, remember what you said during the campaign? So are you saying you're breaking every campaign promise you made about oil and gas? Is that what you're doing? So you're keeping it going just like Trump did, right? That's not what you said you were going to do. And in fact, we know it's not what he is doing. It's incredible to me that they just stand there with these bald-faced lies and act as if, you don't have access to anything he's ever said. Have you forgotten that there are recordings? Did you know we have video and audio from the past that we can bring up and play in the present? Maybe that's a surprise to him.
You might confuse him if you hold up an iPad in front of him.
You might.
What's this little picture box?
I'm sorry. People are standing behind me. What?
How did you get me in that little picture box? I'm here.
It's outrageous. Just outrageous. At least admit it. Admit it. Because you've been pandering to the climate change crowd your whole time, your whole career, ever since this really kicked into gear in the 90s. And everybody knows it. And you're just as radical as Al Gore is or was on it. So don't stand there and tell us you're not doing anything to stop oil and gas drilling in this country. Because if they were left to do what they want to do, the prices would not be this high, and we would not have to tap into the strategic reserve. Later on, Peter Ducey got a question in, too.
Domestic issue, inflation or abortion?
All important. Unlike you, there's no one thing. It crosses the board. Domestic.
What?
Ask me about
Unlike
foreign
me.
policy, too. There's multiple issues, and they're all important. And we ought to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. You know that old expression? Thank you.
Oh, do you know that old expression, Pat? You ever heard that? Walk and chew gum at the same time? Because he wants to know if you've heard it. Yeah, so he was asked, is abortion or inflation your biggest issue?
Both. We're doing all of it is, everything is important. Everything.
I bet he can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, probably not. I've never seen him do it.
But there you go. There's your evidence.
There you go.
What was the Harry Reid?
We've got plenty of evidence that he can't do it because he never has.
What was the Harry Reid line about?
Yeah, prove he has.
Yeah, prove
he has paid his taxes.
Yeah.
It's out there now. Let him prove it's not true.
Yeah, Joe, prove you can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah.
It's out there.
I mean,
don't think
yes,
you can.
This is the opposite of American justice, where the burden of proof resides with the prosecution, with the people who are accusing you of something. Let's just go, and have you prove that you can walk and chew gum at the same time.
I mean, look, the evidence is in.
It is.
He can't take a shower without tripping over his dog.
Right.
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 He can't ride a bike without I should probably stop. I'm probably not the best example of not injuring yourself.
You're not president of the
Thank
United
you.
States.
See, I'm not expected.
Right. We don't care. We don't care if you could do that or not.
Okay. All right.
I do care if he can because, he's in kind of an important position here.
You know how he was sold as the folksy, moderate, everybody can vote.
Yep.
I mean, the evidence was never there. It's always been the opposite because I remember when Barack Obama chose him as his running mate, I forgot who was who. I think Barack was the third most liberal as far as voting record in the U.S. Senate by some metric. And Joe Biden was the first most liberal. It was either 1 and 3. One of them was 1 and one of them was 3. But I'm pretty sure it was Joe at 1. So this is not new. This isn't a surprise. America shouldn't be stunned. Yes, there are Marxist animators who are controlling the puppet strings in that administration for everything, right down to every word in his teleprompter. But still, the guy's got that in him and always has. There should not be a shock that he is going through and following through on this stuff.
No, it really shouldn't. The shock is that he continues to lie about it.
Yes.
Jeez. So he can have it both ways. He can placate supposedly conservatives while at the same time delivering a message to the radicals that he's just as radical as they are. Yeah, I'm doing all this stuff. And then he turns right around to another crowd and says, yeah, I'm not doing this stuff. Jeez. So as a result, we've got the cost of living in this country going through the roof. But Democrats are making abortion their big issue for the midterms because they think it affects everybody every day, apparently. They think that's all we think about is abortion. Stacey Abrams brought it all together for us. Here's what's going on in this world.
I just asked you. You're running for governor of Georgia. I would assume, maybe incorrectly.
Pause it. When was the last time you saw Mike Barnacle, by the way? I haven't seen that guy in a decade.
That's a good call.
Mike Barnacle?
Wait,
Where did you come from?
What's the show again? The Morning Joe?
Oh, yeah, that's what he's on, right?
So he's hanging out over there.
But does he have his own show now?
I think this is from the morning show. They're just kind of hanging out. Okay. It's his turn to ask a question.
All right. Here it is.
It nowhere reaches the level of interest of voters in terms of the cost of gas, food, bread, milk, things like that. What could you do as governor to alleviate the concerns of Georgia voters
Nothing.
about those livability,
He's trying to help her.
daily, hourly
because he knows she's hung up on abortion. He wants
Let's be clear.
Oh, God.
Having children is why you're worried about your price for
Having
gas.
children.
It's why you're concerned about how much food costs.
Not.
For women, this is not a reductive issue. You can't
divorce
being forced to carry an unwanted pregnancy from the economic realities of having a child. And so it's important for us to have both and conversations. We don't have the luxury of reducing it or separating them out.
Wow. So
in touch with every Georgia voter, right?
Because there's not enough abortion going on. That's why prices are going up.
Kill your kids, save some cash. Oh, wait, hold on. Did you, how'd the doctor's office conversation go yesterday? Am I getting to live? Or?
Yeah, I got the go-ahead. So it's kind of up to me now. It's not even, my doctor's sort of out of it because I got the go-ahead to kill you.
Okay.
Because that's a decision between me and my doctor.
And he signed off on it.
Yeah, he's fine.
But even on MSNBC, they're trying to say, hey, talk to Georgia voters about what's important. Yeah. No, we're talking about abortion, Mike.
Because abortion leads to reduction in inflation.
Seriously?
Oh, really? Huh. I've never seen that correlation. Chart that out for me on a graph, because I want to see that.
That is heinous.
Oh, these people are evil. Absolutely evil. It's the whole population control thing, which has been so discredited and disproven over the years. That was a thing that they used to harp on in the 70s. Oh, we're overpopulated, right? We're overpopulated. No, we're not. As we've said, yeah, this was somewhat old, but everybody on Earth could fit on the island of Maui, which is not that big.
Minus Jeffy.
Right, obviously, when you get stuck between the moon and New York City.
Yeah, there's always that caveat.
You can't be included.
I hate it because that kind of messes up the fact you have there. When you have to put a Jeffy asterisk next to it.
Let's use Texas. Everybody in the world could live in Texas. You could even build some housing where you could stay, so you wouldn't even have, the rain coming down on you all the time. You'd have a roof over your head. In Texas, we could fit the entire population of the world and still build buildings. It's not the case on Maui. You'd be a little crowded there. It would be elbow to elbow, but not here. Not here.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not Texas. I'm already here. Pick some other place. Let's give them California.
Alaska.
There you go.
Alaska's 2.5 times the size of Texas. You could fit everybody on this planet and all the people who died on Mars in their climate change situation years ago.
I almost think the environmentalists who take that angle are more noble in their cause than people like Stacey Abrams. In other words, the environmentalists are like, yeah, we got to save the planet, population control, Whereas Stacey Abrams and the radicals that are pushing abortion, they want it like as a drive-through restaurant feature. They want it everywhere. That's just a convenience thing. Like, I just want to kill the baby because it's inconvenient for my life.
Yeah.
And, so I think they're actually even more evil. I think they're both equally destructive for our society.
Yeah.
The different views you take there.
And I love when you bring this up to them and you say, okay, you're okay with aborting a baby the day it's being born? Yeah, I trust the mother. Well, why? Why do you trust her? She made some obviously bad decisions to get here in the first place. So why do you trust her to make the right decision now? Bizarre.
They're going full bore.
Bizarre.
That's the Democratic message for this campaign right now. They've got less than 3 weeks to go, and that is their mantra. We need to federalize abortion, make sure it's legal everywhere, right up to the moment it's born. That's the Democratic Party platform for the midterms right now.
Exactly.
You got to make sure your friends understand this.
More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Thanks for returning with us. 888-900-3393. Ultra Mega Maga Man tweets, wow. Apparently our American oil doesn't burn as clean as Saudi or Venezuelan oil.
Oh.
Which is the only logical answer from buying it from other folks when America has enough to be self-sustaining. Oh, yeah, far more than that.
Ours is dirty.
Or they want to destroy America. One of the two.
Yeah, there you go.
DMXDM. We're going to buy high and sell low. That'll save us $1 trillion billion. Oil Can Joe. Yep, that's of course.
As the same bankers talk about, it's going to bring $1.7 billion off the sidelines investment.
Wow. From Jimmy James, 1883, where are all these oil companies and useless GOPers when it comes to running ad after ad explaining the energy situation? I don't know. Yeah, they're not good at it. Even the oil companies don't defend themselves well. I think they've caved in so much to the climate bullcrap that they don't even bother anymore. They just let everybody say what they will about it. Move on. Bunter Hayden, crack connoisseur, tweets, did anyone ask the frail old fool why he's depleting the oil reserves and sending it to China? He'd just lie about it anyway. From Tim Hallen tweets, Nadler walks like the penguin when he poops his pants. Oh no.
Whoopity-scoop.
Scoop-dee-dee-whoop. Oh, no.
Whoop-dee-scoop-dee-poop.
That's a good song, by the way.
Scoop-dee-scoop-dee-whoop. Whoopity-scoop-whoop-poop. Whoop-dee-dee-whoop.
Right, I got it. Hey. We were told this is just as long as the other one.
Yeah, no, it seems to be a tad longer. But...
Okay. All right.
I think he meant it's as long as the song, not the clip. Thanks for that, Rob. That was very, very sophisticated.
Wouldn't you agree that's a good song, though?
Yes, it's great.
Okay.
It's great.
You pooped in your pants.
I pooped my pants.
Yeah, so I guess it's going around like a poop their pants contagion happening in Washington right now.
Ugh.
Yesterday was a dark day for freedom. The CDC is at it again. Can we not finally stop hearing from these people?
Nope.
Continually in our faces now. They love this newfound attention and power. And so they voted unanimously to add COVID mania, the mRNA shots, to the recommended childhood vaccine schedule here in the U.S. Now, keep in mind, this is you talk about protecting the most vulnerable. Kids are the least vulnerable. And with this thing calming down the way it has, and they're healthy, and there's just no reason for this.
Yeah.
But they did it anyway. Yeah. Here's the vote.
These are your bureaucrats in action right here.
I'm going to check to make sure folks can hear me. I'm
can.
going to actually move to Ms. McNally.
Okay. Here we go.
McNally, no conflict. Yes.
No conflict, yes.
Thank you. Dr. Bell?
Dr. Bell, hello.
Bell, no conflict. Yes.
These are the people trying to control
your
life and your kids.
Lair, no conflicts. Yes.
Yes.
One of them's in a mask at home.
Bata, no conflicts. Yes.
No conflicts. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Brooks.
Thank you, Dr.
Oliver Brooks, no conflicts. Yes.
These are the decision makers.
Dr. Daly?
All right.
Matt Daly, no conflicts. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Sanchez?
Sanchez, what do you have to say?
No conflict. Yes.
I see.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Dr. Shaw?
Shaw, no conflicts. Yes.
Okay.
Anybody got a?
Nobody's got conflicts.
No conflict.
Nobody.
Yes.
Or a no vote? Anybody?
Dr.
No.
Cotton?
Cotton?
Conflicts. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Pause it for just a second. Could you vote no conflicts? No.
Ooh.
Could you do that? Nobody does. So, all right, let's finish this up because I'm pretty sure.
No conflicts. Yes.
All right.
Dr. Paling?
And, Dr. Paling.
Oh, Paling, no conflicts. Yes.
No conflicts. Yes.
And Lee, no conflicts. Yes. This vote now passes 15 yeses and 0
They're so
noes.
excited. Yay. Look at us.
There you go.
Yes. The vote passed 15 zeros.
15
for, no against.
Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's your unelected officials at work.
It's a good feeling to know that people who weren't elected to office and don't answer to anybody just decided the future of our kids at school and whether or not they're going to have to get these shots.
Yeah, so what they've done now is they've added it to the schedule of recommended vaccines that so many school districts around the country follow. And now it's up to your states to block the path of this. I love this tweet from Thomas Massey yesterday. Do the propagandists at the CDC, first he put pregnant people and breastfeeding people, because that's what they refer to, women as. Do the propagandists at the CDC even grasp the irony of recommending RNA and DNA vaccines while they simultaneously deny the reality of DNA by tortuously using gender-ambiguous terms in their vaccine studies?
Oh, that's great.
No, they don't. Tom.
That's great.
Sorry.
No, that's completely lost on them. And they don't care anyway.
But, I mean, this is what the government does. This government does this. They make a mistake on these vaccine mandates, and instead of admitting their error, they double down. And if you push back, they're going to make your life a living hell. They'll get you canceled. They are forcing parents to inject this into their kids in so many places around the country where they're going to be required. If you want to attend school, if you want to play sports, your kid better roll up its sleeve. We got a third of kids, school-age kids in the country right now, have already been vaccinated. They're going for the other 2/3. It's about to get real.
By the way, Dr. Gray in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex votes conflicts no.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I wasn't able to get on the Zoom call yesterday.
That's okay. That was that 16th box.
So I just wanted to make my voice heard here. I would recommend you not go by the CDC recommendation.
Oh, wow.
But
so you're a science denier.
Whatever. I mean, the kids, if they get it, so what? It's usually cold symptoms, cold and flu symptoms. Then they've got their own immunity. And you don't have to worry about what's circulating through their bloodstream and whether they're going to have myocarditis in a week or two.
Yeah, we just had a kid in Illinois who was singing a solo at choir practice, died unexpectedly.
Oh, geez.
I have no idea if that's connected. We also had the young man, the 18-year-old, who plays at, what was it, Mississippi? I forget. It was it University of Mississippi? It might have been Mississippi State. Anyhow, we don't know.
But and he dropped dead too?
Yep. We just know that young people are dying, and this wasn't something that we had to think about in the past. And by the way, the Republicans have the pick of the litter on topics to run on. Do you want to show how out of touch Democrats are on abortion? Do you want to show how terrible they are at handling gas prices and inflation? Or now you could say Joe Biden's CDC is trying to force your kid to take this vaccine that you have so far avoided for them.
Yeah.
It just
you got a million different things you can hit them on. Let's take a look at the exemption laws for vaccines in each of our states and find out if there's any way, if you're residing in one of these states, can you declare that your child should have an exemption? So if they're trying to get you, they're trying to force you to vaccinate your kid, as a condition for whether or not they can attend school. Here's some states that maybe give you a little bit of hope.
Okay. Yeah, so what you're looking at here is...
so the dark blue means what?
So religious exemptions are allowed in the dark blue states.
Okay. The lighter, like royal blue.
Now, the gray is medical exemptions allowed.
All right.
And then the light blue are the best, because then you could just say, I don't want it.
Oh.
Light blue is the best. So that's where Texas, Idaho, Pennsylvania,
Utah, few states.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of these exemptions are impossible to get. You got to find the right doctor. And you probably have to do it every school year, I would imagine, if it involves your kid. But, and this is 2019. How many of these laws have changed since COVID,
Yeah, who knows?
And probably not more pro-freedom. This is
crazy.
This is that dangerous time that we've been saying. It's coming. They're gonna make sure your kids are vaxxed. They already went after you and your job.
Right.
I mean, they did it to the federal workers. They did it to federal contractors. Then they tried to do it to private businesses. And companies like the Blaze said,
no.
Nah.
How about no on that? Very, very strong on these vaccines and the COVID rules here in this building.
Yeah.
Our leadership is very good on that. And so thank you for that. All right. The Biden administration has announced the expansion of taxpayer-funded gender-affirming health care for transgender and gender-diverse federal employees. So we all get to pay for somebody's surgery to change their gender. I'm not sure why we're expected to do that. It doesn't make any sense. And yet here it is. The updated healthcare package was rolled out this month by the Office of Personnel Management, which is an independent government agency that acts as the Chief of Human Resources and Personal Policy Manager for the federal government. Their federal benefits open season fact sheet for people covered under the Federal Employee Health Benefits Program states, the agency is, quote, pleased to deliver enhanced health benefit offerings in the form of gender-affirming care and services. And again, what a bizarre term. This is the thing, though. Control the language, control our society. How is it gender-affirming when you're changing it? That's not affirming it. That's the opposite of affirming it. Beginning in 2023, though, all of these FEHB providers will be required to have adopted one or more recognized entities in order to guide benefits coverage and medical policies pertaining to gender-affirming care and services. Just, it's one weird ruling after another. We've gotten absolutely stark raving mad over transgenderism. How did this happen so quickly? I mean, how long did it take for homosexuals to get the marriage thing? It took decades. This has all happened in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Yeah. And how what is our current, we're 31 trillion in debt. What are we at?
Yeah, 31 trillion. Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not good at math, but it doesn't seem on the surface like we have money to send to Ecuador to promote drag theater performances.
What?
Yeah.
Well, no, those are important, though.
State Department awards a $20,600 grant for Cultural Center in Ecuador to host 12 drag theater performances.
Oh, wow. That's nice of us to send that, I don't know, internationally.
There's so many things wrong with that.
Yeah, where do you even
begin? I mean, you're sending money overseas that we don't have to pay for something that is asinine and destructive.
Did you say this is Ecuador, though?
Ecuador.
Yeah, okay. So not overseas, but out of the country, internationally.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, if you're overseas and you got to cross the sea to get there.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? Wouldn't you say?
I just thought it was just kind of just a colloquial way of saying another
there's
country.
There's an actual reason for the overseas
Now, to
thing.
your point, I wouldn't say overseas if I were going to Canada.
Right? So why would you with Ecuador?
But I'm not going to take a land route to Ecuador either.
Well, you could, though.
I'm going to fly over a sea.
But you could drive there. So
that is awesome.
Whereas if you're going overseas, you can't drive there.
We should do a pat poll.
Yeah, we should.
Because I'm kind of torn on this now.
Really? I thought you maybe just screwed up and said overseas when you meant international, but no. You believe it.
I guess I'm that dumb.
All right, let's see if anybody else agrees with you.
Okay, we'll put that out at Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Because that's an important discussion that we have to have.
I know. Let's not lose track of the thought here that the federal government sucks. They're printing money and they're sending it over internationally to drag show. What is happening?
I don't know. This drag thing is incomprehensible to me. I don't get it. Why is it now mandatory to subject children to drag shows? Well, because they're grooming. And even drag queens have said so. So frustrating.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the website. Yeah. So our own Sarah Gonzalez, News and Why It Matters, which you'll be on later today, as a matter of fact.
I will.
Right? She started this organization, defendkidstx.com. So defendkidstx.com. She's fighting this stuff, man.
Yeah.
She's showing where these things are happening. And my gosh, it feels like the culture wars that we're fighting are getting more and more ridiculous by the day.
No question. It seems like that because it is that.
How is it that a logical person with common sense and any kind of decency could look at a drag show
and say, yeah, that's what my kid needs.
And you see the parents laughing in the background and giving the kids money to hand to the stripper or the dancer or whatever.
In some cases, we've actually seen parents turn the kids back toward the drag queen when they wanted to look away and leave the scene and get away from them. And the parents stopped them, turned them around, and made them enjoy the performance.
The kid's instinct is stronger than these misguided parents.
Yeah.
I mean, this is sexual abuse. This is grooming, as you said, and this is normalizing this kind of behavior so that when they're adults, this will just be totally normal. And God only knows what the kids today that are at drag shows are going to be good with having their kids exposed to later.
Yeah.
We don't survive this.
We don't if we don't get a grip on it, and so far there's no indication that we're getting a grip on it. I don't know. It is frustrating, and it's evil. We're just up against pure, unadulterated evil right now, and we just need to call it what it is and stand up and say, no, this is not appropriate for kids. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for adults, but it's certainly not appropriate for kids.
At least
and we used to agree on that.
Right. At least the adults can make that decision on their own.
Yes.
You're shoving a 5-year-old into this situation, giving them no option whatsoever. It's abuse. Period.
There was an announcement for one of these drag shows the other day. I forget where because there's so many of them. But the slug line on the poster was, you're about to see what an 11-year-old drag queen can do.
Gross.
Wow, how promising that is. I'm not understanding why that's a good thing. I'm really not.
It sounds like they were trying to entice the president of the United States to attend.
Almost, yeah. So, because we know he enjoys.
11-year-olds?
11-year-olds.
Definitely.
9-year-olds. The younger, the better for him. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More coming up. And how? Welcome. Got some tweets here to start out the hour. Jimmy Dimples. I saw those vids of doctors voting no conflict yes and expected them to break out in singing "We're Coming for Your Children."
Oh, boy. Oh.
Yeah, they were in that proper, Brady Bunch sort of squares,
You're
too.
Right. Oh,
yeah, there it is.
That's...
See? And they really are.
Yep.
They really are. It's not funny. It's not a joke. They really are coming for our children. So please protect your children. Lone Wolf 2965. Spontaneous death in young people is just part of the new normal. No. All right. Well, then let's just accept it and move on. We don't need to know the cause of death, right? Just because you got, I don't know, Slim Jims in your blood system now, coursing through your veins. Well, clotting what was coursing through your veins. A little beef jerky never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Did it? You know?
Or as the, I'll never forget the headline. No, it's not. Let's see. SADS, sudden adult death syndrome. No, it's nothing new. Something like that. Yeah.
Was that a serious article?
Oh, that was an article. Oh, yeah.
Trying to explain it away?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
That's nothing new.
Yeah. SADS is nothing new.
Healthy adults just drop dead all the time. Is that what we're supposed to believe? Jeez. Yep. How stupid do you think we are? Well, they think we're really stupid. They insult our intelligence every single
here's
day.
a story. It's from Australia.
Wow.
There's nothing new about sudden adult death syndrome. And the propagandists will stop at nothing to create a safe escape route for our overlords.
Okay, what about the excess death rate, right? That's a thing, and it's been incredibly high the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean,
where people are dying and there's no explanation for it.
Well, was it earlier this week or last week where we had the natural causes of death that were higher in so many counties around the country in April of 2021.
And I'm sorry, when you're 21 years old, and you fall dead for no apparent reason. You had no other health problems. You didn't have a heart issue, and you suddenly just drop dead. That is not a natural death.
But
That's not natural.
I've got a story for you.
All right.
The headline is, "There's nothing new about sudden adult death syndrome." So you need to...
Okay, well, then I need to shut up.
You need to zip the lip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just a conspiracy nut.
Yeah.
Trying to connect things that just don't connect. Just Peachy tweets, "This administration is using sex as a diversionary tactic. While everyone is focused on their own sexual issues, Biden is tearing apart our nation." Sure is. From Rowdy Introvert. "So Keith can drive to Ecuador, but not to Pat's house?" That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Is there a number of people who can call
Let me see, because I put the Pat poll up. If you're in the U.S. and you're referring to something happening in Ecuador, is it okay to use overseas to describe what's happening there, or should you just say internationally? And let's see, right now the vote is, overseas is fine, has 50.7% of the vote. Internationally only is 49.3%.
You're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
Get your vote in now at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. What?
That's crazy.
You don't
That's
agree
crazy
with those results?
No, I don't.
Oh,
No,
so you're an
I
election
don't.
denier.
Yes. Yes, I am, and so are you. And so are the Democrats. Ron in California. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
The Florida Surgeon General, they keep track of the deaths and the COVID. And he says that there's an extremely high incident of death groupings with the vaccine in young men. And other countries also show that. So killing... Now, I've got a question and I'm going to put a couple things in this all quick. Is Biden killing our military with vaccine? That's the question. I pose a question because it's safer as far as being sued and stuff. Anyway,
you're just asking questions. We're just asking a question.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not saying he is. I'm just asking if he is. Big difference.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Countries, as I said, show that, okay, and the USA seems to ignore that the Chinese make our vaccine. Biden continues to have a vaccine mandate on all of our military.
Right.
They're all young men. Biden's son's laptop talks about continuing taking money from China and sharing it with the big man. China several times has talked about taking over the USA by pandemic. Biden continues pushing the vaccine on our children, and they just had that 15-0, no objections that you talked about. Biden is depleting our military supplies, sending them to Ukraine without replacement.
Okay.
Biden is depleting the military emergency fuel supplies, and the press just reported that China just forgave millions in loans to Biden. So, okay.
So that's a lot. It's a lot, Ron.
That's a lot.
He's just asking questions. Ron's just asking
questions. Appreciate the call. Thanks. You need to do a podcast today.
Ooh.
Get all that out of your system because, that's a lot. It's a lot of stuff.
Ron may be the last person that doesn't have a podcast.
Well, I didn't ask him. Maybe he does.
didn't, and I'm a little disappointed you didn't.
Because everybody has one. Every living person on the face of and some non-living have a podcast.
Hey, Vern Lundquist is the guest on my podcast today.
Oh, man, that sounds like it's going to be a really good interview.
I think you'll enjoy it. At themikeshow.com. Yeah.
Larry in Texas, you're on the Blaze.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
You'd asked why that's being so rapidly driven on people, the
drag shows
thing?
Yeah.
Correct. Look at the timeline. When it comes out that Michelle Obama is actually a former man, we'll be so enculturated.
What?
Okay. All right.
Wait.
I like Ron's questions better, if I'm being honest.
Now, where do you think it's going to come out that Michelle Obama used to be a man?
Eventually, because there's videos that kind of illustrate that point.
Are there really?
Oh, my gosh, dude.
I'm not familiar with this theory. Huh.
So you have to stare at her nether regions to.
How do you?
That's fun.
Correct, Keith.
Oh, okay.
By then we'll be so enculturated into the idea that
we won't mind.
She wasn't. She wasn't a deviant. She was a brave, powerful,
a pioneer. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Okay.
Thanks, Larry. Appreciate it. All right. That's a new one. Michelle Obama.
It's been going around for a while.
Has it?
Yeah, you just gotta.
I guess I lived too sheltered a life. I didn't know the Michelle Obama was a man thing.
How do I describe this? Do I describe this? There's pictures on the internet where people are like, they draw little arrows.
Oh no, really?
They're like, look at that lump. Okay, enough. We're done here. Moving on.
No, she's got fabulous arms. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, we'll see.
But
you've been distracted by the arms to notice the other, I guess.
Yes. Right. So, okay. All right. Well,
I don't know that the conservative movement does themselves any favors
by promulgating those theories.
Well, if you're in a conversation, it's election season. Hey, when are you going to vote, neighbor Jim? Oh, I don't know. I got to go this week or something. By the way, you know what we got to do?
We have to expose the Michelle Obama used to be a man.
Yeah.
Fact.
What was that?
Yeah, Michelle Obama used to be a man.
Say what now?
Okay.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we got bigger fish to fry.
I'll see you at the HOA meeting.
That hurts us. It was like the Hawaiian big birth certificate situation. Every time that came up, it delegitimized the right because. They just laughed at it. They just mocked it. And how many times did he show that?
They're going to mock everything.
But there was nothing he could have done, really, to dissuade people from thinking he was born in Kenya.
I think you're going to make more inroads politically with your family, friends, and neighbors if you start talking about the drag shows and what they're teaching in schools.
Yes.
And have you seen the materials at the school board in Dearborn, Michigan? I mean, the stuff that Christians and Muslims united on, it's hideous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of conversations maybe we should be having to change hearts and minds.
Not this one.
And the level of excitement. What that reminded me of was our trip to Africa 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And the level of excitement that we felt in that country, the hope that people saw just in the sheer presence of somebody like Barack Obama, a Kenyan, a black man, a man of great statesmanship who they believe could change the fate of the world. We are still living in a country that...
I thought that's where she said he was from Kenya, but she said it Kenyan. At least on 2 occasions.
Well, she said a Kenyan.
Oh, she did say a Kenyan. Yeah, okay.
Huh.
Jeez. So, anyway, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that she used to be a man.
That's not going to lower the...
No? Oh, okay.
Whether or not Michelle Obama has giblets down there isn't going to lower the price of gas at the pump. I mean, I think that ship has sailed.
I think so, too.
Okay, so if she's a dude, it doesn't affect my cost of living.
If she's a dude, that dude looks like a lady.
It sounds like one,
if
too,
you will.
actually.
Yeah, she does.
So,
all right. Peter in Florida, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I think every single policy that they're pushing forth right now is connected to one thing, one main goal of population control.
Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Appreciate it, Peter, because that's part of the climate change unhinged rhetoric. We've got so many problems, and they're all due to climate change. And so I guess if there are fewer people on the planet, we won't have as much climate change. But what we need are more people in this country, and that's why the borders are wide open.
Oh, boy.
So...
That's fun.
It is fun. The Border Patrol just seized 44 pounds of fentanyl labeled with the CNN logo.
Okay, now that'll get you killed.
Yeah, right.
If you ingest CNN, that's not good for you.
No, you don't want to do that. But nearly 20 bricks of suspected fentanyl Some marked with cable news network CNN's logo were seized at the southern border. Authorities said the packages were stopped at the FAR International Bridge Cargo Facility. That's my favorite one. How many times have we talked about the FAR International Bridge Cargo Facility? I don't know.
Is that what you travel when you're on your way overseas to Ecuador?
Yes, but I'm not going overseas. I'm going internationally. A Border Patrol officer ordered the tractor-trailer to pull over for further inspection using non-intrusive inspection equipment and screening by a canine team. As officers inspected the vehicle, they uncovered 19 packages of alleged fentanyl concealed within the tractor. Authorities said the packages had a combined weight of 44.35 pounds and a street value of $1,036,000.
Oh, my goodness. And it's showing up in schools and kids, and now you got Halloween coming up.
Right.
Please tell your kids, don't be taken, because so many times they look like Smarties, man. Tell your kids, don't be eating unwrapped stuff or something like that looks...
That's for sure. Because they're even doing these in rainbow colors to make them more attractive to kids. And you just know, they look like Skittles. And it could be the death of your child. You got to be careful.
Literally, yeah. I love with the border situation you bring up there. Arizona, they welded these tractor trailer beds, you know. They weld them together. They put razor wire on top. And
jeez,
the Biden administration's like, you got to get those down. And Arizona's like, nah, I don't think so. They're just looking out for their citizens because there's gaps in the wall, gaps in the border fence. And they're like, well, if you're not going to do this, Biden administration, we're going to do it. Somebody's got to protect Arizona.
And the Biden administration is not going to do it because they want illegal immigration to continue at this pace. In fact, they want it to increase. And why do they want it to increase? Because they believe all these people are going to be voters for them. That's why. Yeah, they want cheap labor, but more than that, they believe that Hispanics who become citizens will vote for them. It's not the case, as polls are showing now. The poll has shown, there's a new poll about Hispanics and who they're going to vote for. Do you support Democrats or Republicans? It's gone from Democrat support among Hispanics at a plus 41 level to plus 21 now. So there's still a big gap, but they've cut it. It's been cut in half by the GOP right now because Hispanics are waking up to the fact that the Democrats are not your friends. Okay. They're really not. They don't have your best interest at heart. And they believe that this is going to keep them in power. I mean, does anybody remember they were all talking about Texas turning blue? Why did they think Texas was going to turn blue? Because the Hispanics were going to soon, and it is the case now, outnumber whites. It's 40 to 39% in Texas now? So it actually happened here, but they still haven't overtaken Republicans. Why? Because they're losing support in the Hispanic community. But don't make any mistake about it. This is why Democrats all decided illegal immigration was not just fine, but preferable. Because they thought all of these illegals would someday become their voters. And that's what has always been behind this replacement theory BS. That's not a Republican thing. That's not Republicans being worried about being replaced by Hispanics and some racist notion that we don't want that to happen. This is the replacement thing has always been the Democrats pushing their belief that Hispanics would overtake whites by 2050. And at that point, Republicans, they believed, would never win another national election again. So that's been their goal. And that's why the illegal immigration continues unabated when they're in office. They don't want to lose voters. Well, this is showing they're losing voters anyway.
That is, man, that's good stuff there. I think that the Democrats, I think what you need to do is you gotta find more polls that show the Hispanic tide is turning against them, and then that border will get sealed up.
You bet.
Immediately.
Right. Because then they've lost their motivation for allowing it. The open border is no good to them if those people don't become their voters. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and you know how you mentioned the whole replacement theory thing. These conspiracies that the left accuse the right of making up, all these is the right discovering what these plans are.
Exactly.
Putting light on them, and then the Democrat
Then the Democrats turn it around on them and blame them for it.
Yeah.
No. Nope. Sorry. Not going to play that game anymore.
Madness.
Let me tell you about Birch Gold, because the last time we went through a recession, there were stocks that literally went to zero. Washington Mutual, Lehman Brothers. Remember this? Chrysler, multiple blue chip stocks that went to little or no value almost overnight. Could that happen again? Well, it could. So why not own something that has never been valued at zero? Gold. Historically, your best hedge against inflation, which is rising like a hockey stick, even as we speak. So if you'd like to convert some of your 401k or your IRA accounts into a really nice gold and silver tax-sheltered retirement account, text PAT to 989-898. And they're going to send you a free info kit that gives you all the information. You decide if it's right for you. Text PAT to 989-898.
Pat Gray.
So we've got our poll up right now on Twitter.
Yeah, let's see. Oh.
If you're in the United States, and this is how Keith put it.
Yeah.
If you're in the United States and you're referring to something happening in Ecuador, is it okay to use overseas to describe what's happening there? Or should you just say internationally? And of course, the answer is yes, internationally.
Or overseas is fine.
No. But according to the poll so far, internationally leads about 53-47.
Yeah, you're pulling away. That is as wide as the gap we've had. It's been 50-50, 51-49. So, but we'll leave that poll up.
Yep.
For another 20 hours.
And in a few minutes, we're going to show you Democrats not wanting to secure the border, and they don't know how to handle illegals though when they end up in their cities. So, yeah, they want the border open, but they don't want to deal with it. They want Texas and Arizona and California to have to deal with it.
Yes.
So, Project Veritas, one of their reporters, undercover, of course, talked with a top aide to New York Mayor Eric Adams and had some fascinating things that he found out. We'll share that with you coming up in a few minutes. First, let's go to Diane in Georgia. Hey, Diane, you're on the Blaze.
Hi.
Hi. What's up?
I wanted to talk to you about early voting in Georgia.
Okay.
It's doing really well.
It's going well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was really crowded yesterday.
Oh.
I saw a headline this morning that they found a illegal ballot.
Can you pick up your phone, Diane, and not have us on speaker? Because it's tough to understand what you're saying.
Or climb out of the
Okay,
sewer.
they found
There you go. Okay.
an illegal ballot at one of the polling places this morning. So I think they're trying to cause some trouble.
Wow. I
We'll have
wouldn't
to
be
look into that.
surprised.
Yeah, but to
Thanks,
your point,
Diane.
there's a 70% increase in early voting from 2018.
Wait, with all the suppression, the Republicans have.
Okay, it's like confusing weather and climate. Don't confuse turnout with.
That's right.
Access.
That's right, because
Stacey
they have
Abrams.
nothing to do with each other.
Right, totally different things. So
All right.
Don't do that. But yeah, I saw a thing where I think it was it 2-1 in favor of Herschel Walker?
Wow,
Did
I
I
hope
see
so.
that in exit
so.
polling or whatever?
That would be great.
Yeah, I need to look that up.
Joe in New Mexico, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, morning, Pat. Morning, Keith.
Morning.
Hey, in regards to your morning comments, look, I'm 61 years of age, and I have never heard of sudden adult death syndrome.
Right.
Past year.
Yeah.
But it must be due to climate change.
Oh, good point, Joe.
Busted.
That's right.
Busted.
Yep. Hadn't thought of it that way, but you're right. That's how we should be thinking about it. Appreciate the call. Tom in Tennessee, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, good morning, Pat and Keith. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Tired.
Wonderful.
Hungry.
Yeah. So we just moved from South Florida up to Chattanooga, looking for, a less expensive life, better quality of life. We have a young daughter, and we, want to raise her in a little more of a moral place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so thought we'd escape some of the vices of South Florida. Just found in a park that we frequent all the time, rainbow fentanyl. I didn't find it, but the cops found it. And
my
I'm thinking to
gosh.
myself, this stuff is everywhere.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think, you don't hear Biden or his people mention it, and I think it's part of their plan to string out a whole generation.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Tom. That's frightening. It's frightening. In rural Tennessee, it's everywhere.
Pat.
Rumors are true. Liz Truss, the Prime Minister of Britain, just resigned.
What in the world?
Her 6-week reign of terror is over.
Yeah, you and I were talking.
How did that happen? How did it go south so quickly?
Well, we were wondering,
Jeez.
Is that the shortest term ever?
It had to be. It has to be the shortest.
It is, because the other one was 119 days between April 12th, 1827 and August 8th, 1827. And that dude, George Canning, died.
Oh, wow.
She resigned in 6 weeks.
Unbelievable. So they got to go. Do they have to go through the whole process again? I guess. She just said, I went to the king and told him I'm resigning. And what'd the king say? Oh, good. Now I rule by myself?
Well,
I don't think so.
Put it past Charles
I know.
to react like that. So I guess the chick couldn't cut it.
No.
Couldn't handle the job.
Nope.
Huh. That was so fast. I don't
So
understand.
fast.
All I heard was Britain was upset at her economic plan, and now I'm resigning.
I don't know how much truth there is to it, but I hear, like bubbling under, is Boris Johnson. So I don't know. They go right back to him? Would they do that?
So she just had her little speech where she resigned as head of the Conservative Party. So yeah, now the Conservative...
The Labor Party?
No, Conservative
Isn't
Party,
she
yeah.
in the Labor Party?
Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
No, I'm pretty sure. No, we'll wait.
All right. Let me look here. Let me look.
Trust Party, yeah. So now the party has to go,
yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll elect somebody else, and then they become prime minister? Because at this point, it sounds like Britain just needs to start over. Like just elections for all seats and start over.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the problems was, according to Chris Bryant, who's one of the MPs, he made the astonishing allegation about behavior he said he witnessed in the members' lobby as MPs cast their votes on a labor motion aimed at banning fracking. He called for a probe into the alleged violence. Fuming in the chamber, I saw members being physically manhandled. He made the shocking intimidation, and that was directed at Conservative MP Alex Stafford, who later said he had a frank and robust discussion, but denied being manhandled. All right.
Interesting.
So, apparently, the proceedings descended into chaos. Tories unclear about whether they would lose the party whip if they backed the laborers' motion. Who knows? Who knows? It's just a bizarre form of
It's going to be
government
interesting to see how this plays out. But bottom line is, whoever they get to replace her will be more competent than Joe Biden. That's for sure.
Yeah, probably. Well, for sure. I mean, you can't. How could you possibly be less competent than Joe? Unless you just had, I don't know, a series of strokes, perhaps. Maybe that would do it. I don't know. Unless you've got full-blown Alzheimer's. Maybe then. I don't know. But we're getting close to that in this old codger that we've got, and we're stuck with him, and we can't stop his reign of terror right now. We got to wait till 2024.
Do you have to be an MP to be prime minister?
I think so, but I don't know. I don't know that.
Oh, no, there's no constitutional requirement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
wow, so
I could become
throw your hat
prime
in.
minister.
Why not?
Why not?
Or you know what? And if that doesn't work out, you'll know in time for the seating of the next Congress, you might want to go for Speaker of the House.
Yes, I might.
It's worth a shot. Send a resume.
All right. A few minutes ago, we were telling you about the border situation with the Democrats. They don't want to secure the border, but when the illegals fled across and then some of those illegals are sent to their cities, they don't want to deal with it. They can't handle it. They whine and cry and moan and accuse. Well, Project Veritas just went undercover to talk with a top aide to New York Mayor Eric Adams, who's experiencing some of these illegals, and getting busloads of them from time to time. And here's how that went.
One of Adams' advanced team staffers. Watch him say what he really thinks about his boss, the mayor of New York City, and how he is handling or mishandling the chaos of the migrant crisis.
The city is broke, which makes me very nervous as someone who is paid by the city. We're anticipating like a $10 billion budget deficit by 2026 right now. Oh. There was free money from the government for the last 2 years because of COVID. Yeah. All of that's gone. And then our revenues just aren't in a place to support a $110 billion budget. Like, that's the annual city budget right now.
Can you just raise the taxes?
Yeah, just do that.
The mayor doesn't want to. I mean, that is an option. Or we could, like, reduce services.
What do you mean?
Like, just not give people enough stuff.
Like what?
I don't know, pick something. Department for the Aging, immigrants. Like, we're housing immigrants right now from Texas. It would be very easy to be like, nope, not
Pause
anymore.
it for a sec. Dude, they're not from Texas.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be illegal immigrants. If they were from Texas, they're just residents now. They're not. They're not from Texas.
And I'm watching him shovel this big, it's awkward. He's obviously on a fake date here. He thinks he's on a date or something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. I want to see what he does with the spaghetti. I want to see how that ends.
Let's hope
he's got this big, awkward forkful.
I'm hoping we get shown what he does with the spaghetti.
We're going to be let down.
All right.
How much money are we spending on that?
Oh.
Is it because we're a sanctuary city, or?
Yeah, our rule is everyone here is entitled to shelter. Like, sanctuary city is such a dumb term.
Yeah, it is.
The city has a right to shelter law. No one in the city is supposed to sleep on the street. People do, but they do it by choice.
Sure do.
So the Republicans were like, here are 11,000 people we don't want to deal with. And like, our laws state we have to take care of them. That is the law of the city. The law is not designed to say, like, we want asylum seekers to come to New York City. That's not the design of the law. And then they're like not telling us when these people are coming, not telling us when the buses are
But they don't tell us when they're
not
coming.
telling us who's on the
Right.
buses. It's
Yeah, you just got to deal with it, dude.
Can we just
Sorry.
amend our right to shelter laws?
I mean, we could. We're choosing not to.
Oh, it's like
we could repeal it, but I think that would cause a lot more blowback than what we're currently doing.
I mean, has it been discussed?
No. There's no appetite for it. The mayor, I mean, that's the end of his political career to even suggest that. His political career is already on thin ice. Like, if the mayor did that, everyone would resign. They'd be like, all right, I'm out. Like, this guy. Like, I had colleagues in government who were going to resign if the mayor put a cap on immigrants.
My gosh.
If he was like, after 20,000, like, we're not taking care of them, they were going to resign over it.
How many will we accept?
Yeah, how many are you going to send?
All of them. Like,
all of them.
We don't like it, but
just keep sending
we'll
them.
take as many as they keep sending.
Okay, Greg.
Good.
All
right, for
good.
New Yorkers, are they New Yorkers as soon as they get here?
The laws for anyone in the city. You don't need an ID. You don't need anything.
But we're building housing.
Well, unless you're a citizen, then you do.
Like, we're building
Tent city. Like, housing is a loose term.
Tent city.
We're parking these people in like plastic tents on Randall's Island. Like, they're not getting good stuff. And we're kicking them out of hotels because it's tourist season and hotels want to raise their rates. Like, it's a proposition any way you cut it.
There was talk about like us just limiting the number of migrants we would accept, and I'm glad that we didn't do it that way. I think what Abbott was doing has like proven effective. Like, it's flooded our system. We have more people in social services than we've ever had, potentially ever in history.
Oops.
So it's like, it's effectively demonstrating the strength.
You guys won't get like federal help then?
I mean, we're asking for it, but I don't think there's federal help to be offered. Like, I don't think Biden is in a position where he's going to be like, all right, New York, here's $1 billion, thanks. But I think the optics of this are bad for Biden and they're bad for the mayor. And I think Biden's saying, like, all right, I'm just going to give away money to New York City because, like, they can't take care of these migrants is going to just be bad politics for him. And frankly, I don't know how much Biden is going to appreciate having a mayor be like, hey, you owe blue cities money because of this migrant crisis. Like, eventually it's going to make Biden look bad, which we're a month out from the midterms, and he's not going to like that. So it's a very perilous situation for him. And I don't know that Eric Adams is, like, capable enough to navigate it. And ultimately, it's like us struggling to comply with our own laws, like our right to shelter laws. I'm not tied to this guy the way that a lot of my colleagues are. Like, you know, they're on this ride because they think he's going to be the president, and they're wrong.
And they're wrong. So here's the quote. Can you pause this, Rob? Here's the quote from the mayor's office there in response to Project Veritas.
Time and again, Project Veritas has lied and spliced video to spin false narratives and deceive the American people. That's not true. They have not deceived the American people. They're just showing these things. Well, it's taken out of context. Yeah, they probably have hours of recorded material, and they're not going to play all of it, but they're going to play the relevant portion. If it changes, if they change the meaning of what they said to fit their agenda, then that's deceptive. And that's taking things out of context.
Yeah,
that's not what they're doing here.
Just constantly. He had so much to say. He's like, oh, yeah? And let me tell you this. I'm not tied to the mayor like these other people. And, oh, yeah, he's not capable of navigating this. And I don't think he's going to become president. I don't know how they take that out of context.
But the reality he laid out there shows just how effective and what genius this was on the part of Greg Abbott.
Greg Abbott should be waking up, seeing that video, and saying, all right, send them all. You know what? Just send them all to New York City.
Keep it going.
This is fun.
It worked better than you could possibly imagine. It really did. Yep. I mean, you would think that somehow, by now, they would have put their actions where their mouth always is, and where supposedly their ideology is. Yeah, you just come here and we'll take care of you. You don't have to worry about it. And that's not the case. That's not what is happening here.
It's about time.
They can't deal with it.
Yeah, these sanctuary cities were made to suffer at the hands of their own stupid, self-destructing laws.
It shows just how destructive this is. But they didn't care before because they weren't feeling the brunt of it.
Nope.
We do in Texas.
Yep.
They do in Arizona.
Texas doesn't tell us when they're sending us migrants. Well, I got news for you. Mexico doesn't tell us when they send theirs.
Or Guatemala.
Ecuador,
Brazil, Peru, Venezuela, Russia, China, the Middle East. None of them say, hey, we got 35 terrorists coming your way. Be ready for them at the southern border. We don't get that.
Yeah,
okay?
I thought, you know what? And isn't the left in places like New York City, aren't they big, or they were, big on that mantra, we're all in this together?
Yeah.
All right, well, why don't you take some of these? If we're all in this together and you're talking about COVID, why doesn't it apply to illegal immigrants finding a place to live?
We're giving you a chance to prove that.
Yes.
Fantastic. Jeez. So that is the thing, though, in New York. They have a rule that they are supposed to provide shelter for everybody who's homeless. So they go around all the time and offer these people the chance to be housed in some shelter, overnight at least, if not permanently. And there are just many of them who don't want to. It's like, no, I'm fine here. I'm going to live here in my box. So beat it. They're either drug addicts or they're mentally ill, or who knows what their situation is. But a lot of them don't want to be bothered by the city.
And what was this guy saying that... when she's like, so New York City provides housing, right? And he's like, yeah, we put them in a plastic tent on Randall Island.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it housing.
Wow,
that's amazing.
You guys are taking care of them, huh? Welcome to New York.
Speaking of which, for some reason, Susan Sarandon was driving through Oakland, California.
Okay.
And she filmed a situation where Oakland doesn't seem to be housing a lot of their residents either. Look at what she found, I don't know, in the heart of Oakland. I think she said it was on 12th Street in Oakland. Look at this shanty town that she films. This is stunning. Just garbage everywhere. Tents, cardboard boxes, containers where people are living. You just throw a tarp over it, and that's their house. Look at this. On and on and on it goes. If you just saw this scene, somebody showed you to look at what's going on.
Right.
Where would you think that was?
Correct, yeah.
South Africa?
Yeah, overseas,
India?
Overseas in Ecuador.
Overseas.
Ecuador. That is depressing, that video.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
So disturbing. We now have shanty towns in the United States of America. How did this happen so quickly? It's really incredible. We've had homeless forever. How long have we had homeless?
Mm-hmm.
But we never had this. It's because people are allowing it. Yeah, just let them congregate there. We don't have anywhere else to put them. Let them do it, whatever. Yeah, let them throw the trash everywhere. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Wow.
Third worldification of America. It's well underway.
And is there any better proof than that video she shot? I don't know what she was trying to prove there, but she said something like, this isn't a shantytown in India, it's Oakland, California. And the same thing is going on in Los Angeles, California, San Francisco, Seattle. Yeah. Told you about the tent cities that were under freeway overpasses when I was there a few weeks ago. It's frightening.
And if somehow Gavin Newsom is the Democrat nominee for president in 2024, just play that footage right there in your ad. Yeah.
Right. Hey, nice job, Governor.
Yeah.
This is what you brought to California?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, give me some of that.
Mm-hmm.
I want more of that nationwide.
And the tagline could be, do you want what's happened to Governor Newsom's California to happen to the rest of America? Vote for Republican so-and-so.
And what do you want to bet? A good portion of these people maybe even have jobs. I don't know, but they can't afford housing there because it's so out of control.
Oh, you don't need a job. There's so many government programs.
That's true.
I remember, I don't know, all my memories run together. Who was saying that that they'll show up to these places like government workers? Was that, I didn't, did we talk about this?
I think we did. Yeah.
The government workers will show up and be like, yeah, you can have this and this and this freebie. We'll bring it right to you. Just chill out right here. We'll bring
without doing anything.
We'll bring you the drug paraphernalia. We'll bring you some food.
Yep.
Oh, whatever you need. Just stay put right here in your little.
Sometimes a phone comes with that.
Oh, you got to get your Obama phone.
Yeah. Right. Well, is that the latest? Are you giving me the iPhone 14? Because I don't want it. If not,
but it's okay.
Are you discriminating against me by trying to give me an iPhone 13?
There's hardly any difference between the 13 and 14.
No, the pixels are better on the camera on the 14. Look, I've heard that.
We got a deal, okay? The government got a.
I've got a flat screen I watch every night in my tent, and I saw how good the new phone camera is on the 14. So don't try to pawn off a 13 on me. Don't do it.
But we got a bulk deal. Okay.
Yeah, you can stick your bulk deal.
Yeah, what kind of
right up your butt?
What kind of data plan you want on your new phone there, sir?
I don't know, how much do I 150 mega gigawatts.
Mega gigawatts?
Gigawatts.
Mega gigawatts?
Yeah. Of memory.
Per second?
Per second.
Download speed?
Yes.
You know we're going to have to throttle you at some point if you're watching too much there in your little...
If you throttle me, I'll see you in court.
That's where we're at. That's literally where we're at. We joke, but this country is so freaking ridiculous.
Yeah. We're that stupid now.
I could see a judge be like, you know what? They offered services, but it wasn't the...
They didn't give him the top plan.
Yeah.
They didn't. They didn't give him the bundle plan or the bundle option even.
Your Honor, if it's not too late, I would like to also point out that they didn't even give me a protective case with my free cell phone.
Oh, wow, that's inexcusable.
Is it too late to mention that, Judge?
No, it is not.
Okay, so could we, maybe you could throw in an OtterBox, please?
Yes, and Netflix will come with this as well. So, unbelievable. Unbelievably sad and disturbing and heart-wrenching that's going on now in America. Jeez. 888-900-3393. Something else that's going on in America that is disheartening. Is it the Heritage Foundation that rated this, that found that our military is ill-equipped right now? The U.S. military was rated as weak and may not be able to win one war. You know, just as we have tension with China and Russia right now, and things are going on with Iran. Wow, very weak. The Air Force, weak. Navy, space, the space program, the Space Force program they just did, overall weak. Marginal in the Army, strong with the Marine Corps, and our nuclear power is apparently still.
Is that
okay?
I don't know if that's well, that's scary to see it like that.
It is.
Yeah, because they're saying that we couldn't fight a war on two fronts, maybe not even one, a major war. Well,
wow,
that seems like a problem as we look across the horizon around the planet.
Years of underfunding and poorly defined priorities has led the military to become weak relative to the force needed to defend national interests on the global stage. That's according to the Heritage Foundation. That's what they said in their annual index of American military strength. The current U.S. military force is at significant risk of not being able to meet the demands of a single major regional conflict. The force would probably not be able to do more and is certainly ill-equipped to handle two nearly simultaneous conflicts. Jeez. Sometimes we're doing 3 or 4 at a time, and now we can't do one?
Yeah, and we're sending all these weapons to Ukraine. We leave all these weapons behind in Afghanistan. I mean, help.
In the aggregate, the United States military posture can only be rated as weak. Jeez, that's disturbing. Across the services, the report rated only the Marine Corps as strong in the think tank's assessment of force capacity, capability, and readiness. The Army achieved a marginal rating, so that's great. We got that going for us. The Space Force and Navy were labeled weak, and the Air Force bottomed out at very weak. Really?
Okay. Well, at least we have a hawk in office who's also... I mean, that's actually accurate, the way he's funding Ukraine. But, of course, he's also big on the military, making sure they have everything they need as well, because that's what Democrats do, right?
Sure. Yeah. In general, the military services continue to prioritize readiness and have seen some improvement over the last few years, but modernization programs, especially in shipbuilding, continue to suffer as resources are committed to preparing for the future, recovering from 20 years of operations, and offsetting the effects of inflation. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you about preborn. Nearly 1 out of 5 Americans never even have the chance to live outside the womb because of abortion.
Ugh.
That's a staggering statistic. It's a leading cause of infant death throughout the world. 1.5 billion babies have been aborted worldwide, 63 million plus here in the United States. That's why the Ministry of Preborn and Blaze are partnering to help rescue 50,000 babies from abortion this year. They would love nothing better than to put Planned Parenthood out of business. They show expecting mothers an ultrasound, which 80% of the time changes their mind and causes them to choose life. And then, when that happens, Preborn then provides maternity and baby clothes, diapers that they're going to need, car seats, counseling if they need that. But they need your help in order to keep doing this. They're under attack like you can't believe right now because of Roe v. Wade being overturned. So if you can help to donate, dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or just go to preborn.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, and here's some happy news. Iran is planning to send missiles and drones to Russia for the war in Ukraine. So we got that going for us as well.
All right.
No problem there.
Oh, let's involve Iran.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Air Force bombers detected Russian planes near Alaska.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.